Very good morning, students. This is Jyotisri, JL in Chemistry, AP Balayogi Gurukulam, Chipurpalli. In this module, I am going to teach you about an important compound called ammonia from 15th group elements in the senior intermediate chemistry. Dear students, let us see what is meant by ammonia. Ammonia is a colorless, pungent smelling gas with molecular formula NaH3. Ammonia is an important compound in the manufacturing of so many fertilizers and other chemicals such as cleaning fluids and floor waxes. Generally, it is made industrially by reacting nitrogen gas and hydrogen gas in the process called Haber's process. That is, nitrogen gas when react with the hydrogen gas, ammonia gas is formed. Okay, students? In this module, I am going to teach you about the manufacturing of ammonia by Haber's process. That is, Haber's process is the method which is used for the industrial preparation of ammonia directly from nitrogen and hydrogen gases. It is the large scale preparation of ammonia which was developed by a German scientist called Fritz Haber. That's why this process is called Haber's process of ammonia preparation. If you observe the Haber's process of ammonia, the main chemical equation involved in this is N2 plus 3H2 is double gives rise to 2NaH3. Here delta H is minus 92 kilojoules per mole. That is, the manufacture of ammonia by Haber's process involves the direct combination of nitrogen and hydrogen gases. Here 1 mole of nitrogen react with 3 moles of hydrogen to give 2 moles of ammonia. It's a reversible exothermic reaction which is clearly known from the delta H negative value. Is it clear, students? It is very important reaction or important equation for the preparation of ammonia by Haber's process. I repeat, the combination of nitrogen and hydrogen into ammonia is a reversible exothermic reaction. That is, it contains two reactions. One is forward reaction, other one is backward reaction. But the production of ammonia is a forward reaction and it is exothermic, and which involves there is a decrease in the volume. That is, 4 moles of reactants are converted into 2 moles of products. So there is a decrease in volume and it is a reversible exothermic reaction. The formation of ammonia is a reversible exothermic reaction. Whenever there is a reversible reaction, we can apply one important principle for knowing the factors affecting this reaction. That is Le-Chatelier principle. So we can apply Le-Chatelier principle for the preparation of ammonia by Haber's process. Is it clear, students? We have to apply Le-Chatelier principle for knowing various factors affecting the formation of ammonia. Is it clear? So let us see what are the best conditions for Haber's process for the better yield of ammonia. The important reaction is N2 plus 3H2 is double gives rise to 2NH3 and delta H is minus 92.4 kilojoules per mole. Let us see what is the effect of pressure on this reversible reaction according to Le-Chatelier principle. Ammonia production is favored by the increase in pressure. An increase in pressure shifts the equilibrium towards the right side. That is, more product is formed. This is why, because according to Le Chatelier principle, increasing the pressure shifts the equilibrium in favor of lower gaseous molecules. That is, 4 moles are converted into 2 moles. So we have to consider the forward reaction. So according to Le Chatelier principle, high pressure is needed for this reaction to get more yield of ammonia. But high pressure, the reaction is very slow. So a pressure between 25 to 200 atmospheres is used depending on the plant. Although pressures above 200 atmospheres give higher yield, but they are not used. Why? Because it will very expensive and it costs more energy. So high pressure is needed for the production of ammonia in the Haber's process. That is the effect of pressure on this equilibrium. Is it clear, students? Coming to the next important factor of temperature on the Haber's process. Ammonia production is favored by lower temperature. It is because this is reversible exothermic reaction. For an exothermic reaction, increase of temperature decreases the value of solubility products. So that decreases the yield of ammonia. That is, decrease of temperature increases the yield of ammonia. That's why according to Le Chatelier principle, low temperatures are favorable for the better yield of ammonia. Is it clear, students? The next important factor is catalyst. Let us see what is the effect of catalyst on this Haber's process. We know catalyst is a substance which increases the rate of reaction without itself being consumed in the reaction. That is, a catalyst does not affect the yield of the product. In this case, the catalyst does not affect the yield of ammonia, but it increases the rate of reaction or rate of formation of ammonia. In Haber's process, finely divided iron is used as a catalyst. To increase the activity of catalyst, we are adding molybdenum as a promoter. This promoter will increase the activity of catalyst. That is the effect of catalyst or the role of finely divided iron in the Haber's process, which increases or the rate of production of ammonia in Haber's process. Okay, students? From all the above discussions, let us see what are the optimum conditions for Haber's process. That is, conditions for the better yield of ammonia in Haber's process are low temperature, high pressure and catalyst finely divided iron. At low temperatures, the reaction is too slow. So, an optimum temperature of 725 Kelvin is taken as a optimum temperature. And at high pressure, the reaction is too slow. So, a 200 atmosphere pressure is taken as a optimum pressure for the formation of ammonia in Haber's process. And finely divided iron containing some molybdenum or alumina is used as a catalyst. This molybdenum or alumina acts as a promoter which increases the efficiency of catalyst iron. A mixture of iron oxide and potassium aluminate has been found to work more effectively than finely divided iron pieces. So these are the optimum conditions for the better yield of ammonia in Haber's process. Okay, students? This is the diagrammatic representation of Haber's process in the formation of ammonia. That is, when nitrogen gas and hydrogen gas combines in 1:3 ratio of volume and catalyzed by some catalyst and under low temperatures and high pressure, liquid ammonia is formed. This is the diagrammatic representation of Haber's process. Okay, students? Here I am explaining the formation of ammonia in Haber's process. That is the procedure. The procedure involves some stages in the formation of ammonia. A mixture of nitrogen and hydrogen are compressed in 1:3 volume. The compressed gases pass into the converter or reactor vessel which contains traces of some catalyst like finely divided iron. The catalyst iron or a mixture of iron and iron oxide is used as a catalyst in the Haber's process. The iron is porous, so it has a large surface area for the gases to react on. Then a promoter, generally molybdenum or potassium hydroxide, is added to increase the activity of catalyst or effectiveness of catalyst. The temperature in the converter is usually about 400 to 450 degrees centigrade or 725 Kelvin. This is the procedure which explains the formation of ammonia in Haber's process. This is the actual flow diagram of Haber's process by which nitrogen and hydrogen combines in the presence of a catalyst, and then low temperature and pressure, how much pressure is required, and how the nitrogen and hydrogens forms ammonia. So this is the process of flow diagram of Haber's process. Okay, students? Coming to the next concept of our module, that is chemical reactions of ammonia. There are so many reactions of ammonia, but in this module or in the second year chemistry, we will deal with only 4 reactions. That is the reactions of ammonia with water, and the reaction of ammonia with aqueous zinc sulfate, and the ammonia reaction with aqueous copper sulfate, and finally the reaction of ammonia with solid silver chloride. Okay, students, we'll go to the reactions one by one. Let us see the first reaction, the reaction of ammonia with water. Ammonia readily dissolve in water to form aqueous solution of ammonia, which is called ammonium hydroxide. That is, ammonia reacts with water to form an aqueous solution of ammonia, ammonium hydroxide. That is, reaction NH3 plus H2O gives rise to NH4OH. That is, when ammonia reacts with water to form aqueous solution of ammonia, which is nothing but ammonium hydroxide. Ammonium hydroxide is alkaline nature. That is, it is basic in nature, which is called ammonia solution. Okay, students? Let us see the next reaction of ammonia with aqueous zinc sulfate. Aqueous zinc sulfate react with ammonia solution to form white precipitate of zinc hydroxide along with ammonium sulfate. I repeat, aqueous zinc sulfate reacts with aqueous solution of ammonia to form white precipitate zinc hydroxide and ammonium sulfate. The reaction is ZnSO4 plus 2NH4OH gives rise to ZnOH twice plus NH4 twice SO4. That is, zinc sulfate on reaction with ammonia solution forms white precipitate of zinc hydroxide. Is it clear, students? The next reaction is reaction of ammonia with aqueous copper sulfate. Aqueous copper sulfate reacts with ammonia to form a deep blue complex called tetraamine copper 2 sulfate. That is CuNH3 4 times SO4. This is called tetraamine copper 2 sulfate. The chemical equation is CuSO4 plus 4NH3 is gives rise to CuNH3 4 times SO4. This is a blue colored complex whose name is tetraamine copper 2 sulfate. With this reaction, we can say ammonia is capable of forming complexes. It is complexing agent. Is it clear, students? So aqueous copper sulfate reacts with ammonia to form a deep blue complex called tetraamine copper 2 sulfate. Okay. Coming to the next important reaction of ammonia with solid silver chloride. Solid silver chloride reacts with ammonia to form a colorless complex called diamine silver 1 chloride. That is, solid AgCl reacts with ammonia to form a colorless complex. The chemical equation is AgCl plus 2NH3 gives rise to AgNH3 twice Cl. It is also a complex compound. With this reaction also, we can say ammonia is a good complexing agent. That is, it is capable of forming coordinate covalent compounds or complex compounds. So, the reaction of solid AgCl with ammonia forms a colorless complex called diamine silver 1 chloride. Is it clear, students? Here it is the chemical reactions of ammonia with water, zinc sulfate, copper sulfate, silver chloride. I repeat, when ammonia reacts with water to form ammonia solution, that is ammonium hydroxide. When aqueous zinc sulfate react with ammonium hydroxide to form a white precipitate of zinc hydroxide along with ammonium sulfate. And when ammonia react with aqueous copper sulfate, it forms a deep colored compound called blue colored compound CuNH3 4 times SO4, whose name is tetraamine copper 2 sulfate. And when solid silver chloride react with ammonia to form a colorless compound called diamine silver 1 chloride. So these are all the chemical reactions of ammonia in this module. Okay, students. Here it is the picture which shows the uses of ammonia in various fields. That is, ammonia used as a refrigerant, and it is used in the industry, and it is used as a preservative, and ammonia is used for the transport of hydrogen, and it is good laboratory reagent, and which is also a good solvent, and it is also used as medicine and cosmetics industry also. So these are about the some important uses of ammonia. Okay. Okay, students, with this I conclude my module. I hope all of you enjoyed my lesson, and it's very important question, that is manufacturing of ammonia and its chemical properties in the board exams. Wish you all the best. Thank you.